glad to have the opportunity to discuss with you today treatments for intra-articular injection. I know this meeting is about extra-articular repair, but I wanted to put in your mind the thought that while you're also balancing extra-articularly, there can be inflammatory processes that have already begun inside the joint and potentially an adjuvant to fix or slow down that inflammatory process could potentially improve your outcomes. So I will discuss a novel intra-articular injection that is blood-based that is called Instride APS. We've been working on this particular program for over 14 years, so we have quite a bit of data, and in fact, in this presentation, I'm going to share new data with you on what we know about the effect and who this in therapy works on. So just briefly, what we're trying to intervene in is the local inflammatory process inside the joint of osteoarthritis. We know it's not a systemic inflammatory disease, but it is a local inflammatory disease. And it is driven by IL-1 and TNF-alpha, which in fact starts and continues the breakdown of cartilage. And we end up with lack of homeostasis in the joint. So this therapy is trying to provide antagonists to IL-1 and TNF-alpha to slow down or stop that breakdown process. It is a blood-based process that can be prepared point of care in 20 minutes. The collection of the output is about 3 milliliters that contains white blood cells, some platelets, and concentrated plasma. I want to point your attention to the white blood cells because the main antagonists to IL-1 and TNF-alpha are actually found in monocytes and neutrophils. And this is just a schematic. We call this output an autologous anti-inflammatory as opposed to a PRP because we want to focus on those anti-inflammatory cytokines. We collect white blood cells in the first spin, and then we mix them with polyacrylamide beads in a second device, which allows for further concentration of those anti-inflammatory cytokines. Then there's a filter that prevents the beads from coming into the output, and then you have this highly concentrated anti-inflammatory solution to inject within the joint. Just to show you how Instride APS fits in the scheme of autologous therapies, you can see the white blood cell counts of pure PRPs, leukocyte-rich PRPs. Instride has more white blood cells than any of those products, but much less than a concentrated bone marrow aspirate. And when we look at the output, you can see for subjects that have osteoarthritis and not rheumatoid arthritis, we have high concentrations of the antagonists, IL-1RA, SIL-1, and then STNF-R1 and R2, without also highly concentrating IL-1 and TNF-alpha. However, we definitely keep our eyes on these inflammatory cytokines and then look at the ratio between these two. We try to have a goal of at least 1,000 times IL-1RA to IL-1. And we've shown in vitro that APS can block enzymatic production from chondrocytes stimulated with IL-1 and TNF-alpha. We've shown then that we can also reduce the amount of cartilage breakdown from explants. And finally, we've shown that we can reduce inflammation from activated macrophages like those cells found in the synovium. So in vitro, the mechanism of action does appear to be anti-inflammatory. We then repeated this in animals and have shown both reduction, a protection of cartilage reduction inside a joint and decreased wear from a meniscal injury. We have also done large animal studies in animals with naturally occurring osteoarthritis, both in horses and dogs, and shown significant reduction in pain. So that moved to a fairly extensive clinical evidence program. And we have a lot of these studies finally done. So I'm looking forward to sharing the data with you. We did 2 phase 1 studies in unilateral osteoarthritis, a phase 2 pilot. We did a registry there in the UK. And then we've run 2 pivotal studies, both in the US and Europe, and initiated trial looking specifically at patellofemoral osteoarthritis. And down here below are the markets that Instride is for sale in currently. So to start with those, just briefly, those safety trials, we did do safety trials because this product does contain white blood cells, and we wanted to make sure it was safe. These are unilateral subjects with KL2 or 3. And in both trials, the one performed in Europe and one in the United States, we had about a 70% reduction in WOMAC pain in the knee, both at 6 months here and 1 year. And interestingly, in that very first trial, we did see that high responders correlated to the amount of IL-1RA to IL-1 ratio in the joint. Those subjects that had over 1,000 were the high MRAC-ORC responders, and the 3 that didn't actually went on to get total knees. We then moved to a phase 2 trial to understand the effect size between, in a blinded fashion, between Instride APS and saline, again, in the same patient population. And at 1 year in WOMAC pain, this is percent improvement, we had a significant improvement in pain of those subjects, and this has been published in American Journal of Sports Medicine. We just recently carried this data out to 3 years and have published that just this year in American Journal of Sports Medicine as well. And you can see that still at 3 years from a single injection with no other therapy, we still have a significant improvement in pain. The registry that we opened in the United Kingdom is also complete, and we are drafting a manuscript on this data now. It is also looking at 1 year. What is interesting about the registry is that it was all comers, any level of OA, KL grade, and any level of pain, unilateral or bilateral. And in this real world study, we did, again, but this is looking at Coos pain, had a significant improvement in pain. Most of the inclusion-exclusion criteria for studies excludes patellofemoral osteoarthritis. So we had an investigator look specifically at patellofemoral osteoarthritis in perimenopause and menopausal women, because this is a group that struggle with patellofemoral osteoarthritis, and many injections don't work as well. So we examined APS in this patient population. And this is the one study where we've actually looked at dosing. So this is the Coos score at 1 year for the subjects that received 1 injection, had significant improvement in pain. And those subjects that were not happy with their pain at 3 months received a second dose. And then by their 12-month time point, there was no difference at their 12-month data to their 1 injection cohort. So those that were not as strong responders with the first injection appeared to do better after receiving a second one. An interesting finding in this trial was that the subjects that had more synovitis at the beginning of the trial, measured by MRI, measured by ultrasound, actually improved more than those that didn't. So that was interesting in terms of the mechanism. So now I'd like to talk about a double-blind pivotal trial we ran in the United States. This was a double-blind study against saline. This was 28 centers, 332 subjects, and a 1-to-1 randomization against saline. The primary outcome was at 1 year. And again, it was unilateral, symptomatic, early to mid osteoarthritis. The randomization was 172 APS patients and 160 saline patients. And then you can see, based on baseline carried forward data are subjects that exited due to knee pain, and then missing data for those that exited for other reasons than the total available at the end of the study. This is the effect of that single injection of Instride at 1 year. It was greater than 50% improvement in pain in the population. Unfortunately, saline also did as well, and we did not find a significant difference. So we were obviously disappointed in those results. However, when we looked into the data, we found several interesting facts. One here are all of the clinical trials of Instride lined up on one graph. And you can see, based on randomization, the effect of the effect at 12 months. So no randomization, 2-to-1 randomization, 1-to-1 randomization, and active control randomization. So the design of the study certainly influences how the product outcomes. But more importantly, we found that the saline subjects took more rescue medication, which was acetaminophen, and restricted medication, which is anything else, at all time points. And there was a significant influence on outcome measures based on that medication they used. Also, we had more subjects withdrawal due to in the saline group than the Instride APS group. So we tried to combine all of those factors into a responder analysis, combining percent pain reduction, amount of medication use, and study exit. And in fact, when we applied that responder criteria to the data, we found a significant difference between groups. Obviously, that's not how we designed the study and wanted the outcome to be, but we learned a lot by keeping someone on saline for 1 year is quite an ask. And they, in fact, do use quite a bit of medication in order to manage their pain, even when they're in a double-blinded situation. In this study also, we did full characterization of the output to see if there's any correlation between responders and non-responders. And interestingly, if we look at their pain improvement at 12 months and the ratio of IL-1RA to IL-1, you can see the orange line or the average of all of the subjects. But this is their pain percent improvement as a function of the ratio. And subjects that had under 1,000 IL-1RA to IL-1 were less likely to be responders than those, the remaining subjects. And again, you can actually see this increase at greater than 8,000, but the majority of the subjects are over 1,000 and are hitting the median. And this effect was not seen in the saline group. So we measured the ratio in the saline subjects, but it didn't influence their percent improvement in pain because they were injected with saline. So again, this is supportive, it doesn't prove it, but it is supportive that that ratio is in fact potentially driving the mechanism of APS in the joint. And finally, we have also completed at least our 2-year data in an ongoing trial comparing Instride with Synvisc-1, hyaluronic acid, in Europe. We had 252 subjects in 16 centers. Again, the primary endpoint at 1 year, and we're following these subjects out to 5 years. Here's the breakdown, and it was very similar to the trial in the US, where both groups improved significantly from baseline, and we didn't detect a difference between the groups at 1 year. And again, interestingly, this was against an active comparator. We had more study exits in the hyaluronic acid group and more use of restricted medication in the hyaluronic acid group than Instride. So using that same responder criteria, we again found a significant difference at the when we combine pain reduction, medication usage, and study exits. So moving forward, I think we learned a lot about these trial designs, and we'll use this as our primary outcome so we don't have to do these post hoc at the end to understand how Instride is working and how it is reducing pain medication and improving pain. Interestingly, this trial at 1 year, we allowed subjects to decide if they wanted a second injection or not. And their amount of pain at 1 year drove that decision regardless of what therapy they had been randomized to. So still blinded, they made the choice to get no injection, try the same injection again, or cross over. Majority of the patients did in fact try their same injection again, but we did have subjects that crossed over, and we learned something from them interestingly as well. So when we look at the majority of the subjects that received the same second injection, there was a significant difference from their 12-month data point to their 24-month data point in the Instride group, but that did not happen in the Synvis group. Again, we're following these subjects out to 5 years. In the crossover group, so these subjects are crossed over, but they do not know which injection was which, but we asked them which was their patient preference. Did they prefer the first injection they received or the second? So in a blinded fashion, patients who've received both injections selected a preference. And that was statistically significant to prefer Instride over the Synvis 1 in this group. So where we are now, we've come a long way if you've heard me present on this topic before, but what is next is we have actually completed that pilot study out to 5 years, and we are writing that data up now. And we're continuing to follow that European trial out to 5 years. As you've seen, I've just presented the 2-year data. We're still encouraging all of you to enter subjects into the ICRS registry. That's free for you, and is a really nice registry to track your patients. We have started a hip trial in Australia. That study is done, and we're collecting that data now. This was our first adventure into hip OA. And we're going to complete a new study in the United States with the FDA using that responder criteria as the primary analysis. That will become Progress 6. And we're in discussions with the FDA now on designing that trial. So I'm very happy to have the opportunity to present this to you, and thank you for your time.